do a video about growing your Scentsy team. A lot of us are wanting to grow our teams in the new year. That's one of the goals that I've been seeing a lot is recruit or gain new team members or sponsor or grow my team or build or promote or whatever you want to call it. And it's a goal of mine also. And so I wanted to do a quick video a little bit about what we call recruiting. One of our 6 skills of the Scentsy selling system is, prospecting, that's one of them, and recruiting, that's another one of them. And so we're going to chat a little bit today about recruiting and really kind of just some basics as far as like why, who, how, what, when, where, all of those, right? All of those basics. Why, how, who, what, when, where. Maybe not in that order. But we'll just dive into it right now and we'll kind of get started. So the first question is why? Why do we want to build our teams? Why do we want to recruit? Why is it important that you gain this skill as a Scentsy consultant and do this? So first of all, if you want to promote beyond the level of certified consultant, you must have a team member. You must gain a team member. If you want to promote beyond lead consultant, which is having 1 team member, you have to have 2, and so on. No matter which title you are promoting to, reaching your team wholesale volume number and your group wholesale volume number is going to be easier the more people that you have. So this is just something that I do so much. This little $4 Staples calculator has been with me forever, and I use it on the daily. And this is what I do with it. I take the number of team wholesale volume that I need. So say you're trying to promote to lead consultant. You need 1,000 team wholesale volume. So you plug in 1,000 to that. Then you say, okay, that's wholesale, so we need to divide that by 0.75 to get retail, which equals 1,333 retail. And then you divide that by 2 people. Say it's just you and you got 1 recruit. That means you and your other person have to sell $666.66. Sorry, I thought Ellie was going to come upstairs. Or holler. He was hollering at me. So no matter what, when you have a recruit, you have to sell 500, but then your new recruit also has to sell that number. So then let's take that 1,333 again and divide that by 3 people. Well, now all of a sudden everybody just has to sell 444. You still have to sell 500 to get paid that title, but the other 2 people only have to sell 444. So it takes a little bit of the pressure off of them, right? And so on and so forth. And so you'll notice the larger your team gets, the easier it is to hit those promotion numbers. And you always want to have more than that bare minimum. Like to get paid at director, I have to have 3 active frontline. That means I have to have 3 people on my team who I've personally sponsored. And that's it. But is there any way that the 4 of us are going to hit 10,000 in a month? Let's see. 10,000 divided by 0.75 equals 13,333 retail divided by 4 means each of us would have to sell. That is not right. But, okay, let's do this. 13,333 divided by 4. Each of us would have to sell $3,333.25 every single month. That's not really realistic, right? So the more people you have on your team, the easier it is for you to hit promotion numbers. If you want to promote, it is essential. Can't do it without bringing in new teammates. If you want to earn trips, you will notice that we get a lot of points if we bring somebody in, bring somebody in to do Scentsy with us and help them get certified, help them learn how to do parties, help them along their way. we get points for that. And so if you're trying to earn trips, it's essential to sponsor new teammates. Not only that, but it is more fun. It's more fun. It's one of the most rewarding parts of being a Scentsy consultant is bringing your friends along, bringing the new people who you meet along, and helping them learn how to share Scentsy and sharing Scentsy alongside of them. So if you want to know my opinion, I think that those are the reasons why. Just that, I mean, those other two are like kind of just part of it, right? Like, because you have to promote, you have to earn trips, but why you should really is because of the benefit that you will be giving to others, because of the benefit that you will get from having friends and family alongside of you doing Scentsy with you together as a group. It's not meant to be just a solo, I'm the only Scentsy consultant out there business. It's meant to be a business where we are bringing people along with us. So that's why. So next question is who? Who do we ask? The most simple answer to this is just everybody. Like, there is no, I can't think of one person who you shouldn't ask to join your Scentsy business in some way, shape, or form. Now, that's obviously, not everybody's going to join it, and you're not going to just go out there and start asking everybody, because that's not attractive. People don't like that. That's not going to bring people onto your team. But that's to say there isn't a set person that's best suited to be a Scentsy consultant. There's not a set, you can't look at somebody and go, oh, she would be a good Scentsy consultant, she would not, or he would be a good consultant, he would not. That's just not how it works. Scentsy can fit into everybody's life in some way, shape, or form. So where do we start from here, right? So you might want to start by asking your circle of people, your friends and your family and those people who are close to you. Bring them along with you, your best friends. I know we have several best friends who are doing Scentsy together. I have my mom on my team. I had my sister-in-law on my team, my cousin on my team. I have had my, why can't I think? My sister, my mother-in-law, like all my sister-in-law, I've already said that. I've had both sister-in-laws at one point on my team. And so it doesn't mean that, if they're close to you or in the same family, they shouldn't, all the more reason to invite them in. Also, they love you, and they're going to be, probably some of the most comfortable people for you to ask. Now, if that's not the case, that's okay too. Like, where else can you go? Think about those closest to you, people who maybe you see every day, people who you work with, people who work in teachers or nurses. Those are some of the professions that are just consistently joining companies like Scentsy, right? Joining network marketing companies, direct sales companies. Millennials are huge who are jumping into this right now. I actually see I'm on the tail end of millennial. I'm like that. They technically I'm a millennial, but then they also gave us this other fancy name because we didn't really have technology until later. I can't remember what they call us. Anyway, we have a special name, but I was born in 1983, but we're towards the tail end of millennials, but still, I'm noticing now my friends all over, people who I graduated high school with, signing up for different direct sales companies where I'm like, man, you could have signed up with Scentsy 9 years ago, you could be doing this with me, but anyway, those might be some people who you could think about asking, right? When we're thinking about, if you want to think about who and thinking about, okay, well, Ariel says everybody could join Scentsy and that's just not realistic. Who do I go start asking? You would be surprised. Do not, something that we always say is, people who talk about needing money, people who, are stay-at-home moms and so they want a little outlet. Those people, for sure, definitely ask them. Also ask successful people, because same thing, we have principal on our team. She's a principal of a school, and she's also a Scentsy consultant. She's very successful, but she also wanted a hobby, and she loves Scentsy. And so don't discount anybody because of what they do or anything like that. Hostesses are a great start. They're already basically doing your job. They're just not getting paid to do it. So you can very easily kind of teach them, how simple it is and show them like, hey, your party made this much. Why don't you join me? Again, sometimes hostesses just want to be hostesses. That's okay too. More importantly than who you ask and who you share the opportunity with is going to be how many times you do it. So, should have thought about this before I started because did I throw that away finally? That would be a shame. Sometimes I go through these like, I need to clear out my desk phase, and I throw away stuff that was better off for me to keep. Okay, sorry, I got distracted because now I'm bummed that I threw that away. What's wrong? Okay, sorry, yelling coming from downstairs. I had a notebook, and in that notebook, I kept track of who I asked to join Scentsy and what the outcome was. And you could do this in any, you could do this electronically or on a notebook. And what I discovered is that many people told me no 2 or 3 times before they told me yes. So that is keeping track, so you know. That is every time that there's a join promotion, you're reaching out to that person and sharing again. Hey, I know 6 months ago wasn't a great time for you, but we have this great join promotion this month. Or, hey, I know 6 months ago wasn't a good time for you, but I wanted to check in and see if now maybe Scentsy would fit in your life, even if there's not a promotion going on. It's probably going to take a few times asking these people. Might even take more than twice, might even take more than 3 times. And so it's important to not go, well, I asked every single person I knew, so I'm done. Nobody wants to join my team. I can't do it. It's important to note that write down who you want to ask them, record the results, revisit it, not at an annoying level, but following up and revisiting it, planting the seeds and putting in their heads and following through with it. That's going to help your rate of recruiting team members go up. It's often said that the people who are joining your team now are actually the people who you talked to 3 months ago or something like that. So if 3 months ago I wasn't planting any seeds or planting enough seeds, that's probably why I haven't had a teammate in the last couple months. Because what happens to me is I get new teammates and then I'm like, well, I have new teammates and I kind of need to help them and I kind of need to keep doing my own thing, and then I forget to keep planting my seeds and then I run into a dry spell and then I start it all over again. And that's okay too. It's just learning and growth. But I mean, keep that in mind. If you put in a bunch of recruiting work in January and February, and by March you're tired and you've been told no and it's just not working, keep doing it. Do it again in March and do it again in April, and by then some of your January seeds might start to take interest. So it's not always something that's going to happen overnight. Sometimes it does, though. I mean, like, sometimes you will ask somebody once and they'll say yes and join your team on the spot. So it's just asking. And it's not about asking the perfect person. It's about asking all the people lots of times. Oh gosh. Jason Harwood describes it as being persistently patient, I think, is what he says, where you're following up, but you're being patient. You're not being pushy about it, but you're making sure that they know what's up, they know what's out there for them, all that. Okay. So we covered why, who, what. I think we've covered what. Basically, what recruiting is bringing new team members on, growing your team, and teaching those who are on your team to do the same. Because if you're trying to grow a team and it's just you doing all the growing, that's going to be super hard. The network marketing business is designed so that you grow your business, you help your teammates grow their business, they bring on new team members who they help grow their business, and so on. It makes it so that your business will grow. Yes, sir.
Can I please have a candy cane?
You may. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Ah.
Okay, so why? Who, what, where? Okay. Where? Everywhere. Everywhere you go. Talk about Scentsy. Share your passion for Scentsy. The best recruiting tool, I'm going to get into how in a second here, but the best recruiting tool for you is you. You are everything that you need to get someone to join your Scentsy team. You are your brand. You are the excitement of Scentsy. You are why they want to do it. You are what's going to attract them to it. Because, alright, let's just jump into how for a second. So, it's helpful to have a possibility packet, which I'm going to get into, and I have another video on too. It's helpful to have information to give them. But what's really actually going to get them to join your team isn't reading over the information or reading through, this and this and this. It's, I want to join this company with this person because I like what they're doing, because they seem like they're having fun, because they're excited about what they're doing, because they have, they've incorporated in their lives and they've shown me how I think I could too. All of that, all of those things is going to be what actually gets someone to join your Scentsy team. So it's conveying your emotion and excitement about Scentsy wherever you go. So where, that's where, everywhere. If you're at a party, you are saying, I absolutely love this. I was hesitant to make the leap, but it's been one of the best decisions that I've ever made. I have extra spending money for Christmas. I get to be there when my child gets off school. I get to pursue this other hobby that I have because of the money that I can make with Scentsy. So I have that little extra to be able to go do this other thing. It's sharing that emotion and helping them to see how that Scentsy can help be that for them. It's, I just love being a Scentsy consultant because I love it when I go to a party and I get to get out of my house for the night and everyone's sitting around laughing and smelling the scents and having a great time. And I love that I get to help bring that joy to other people. And you could too. It's, it's all of those things, right? It's helping the mom find the gift for her daughter for Christmas because she loves things that smell good but can't have a candle because she's 10. It's all of those things. Like, I get to do that. That's really cool. That's really important. And I get to help other ladies find that for themselves. That's really awesome. And, I just love what it can bring to people. So it's sharing all of that all the time, everywhere that you are. Because people will ask you often how Scentsy is going for you. And I think a lot of times people will ask you because they're somewhat skeptical, because they don't really understand, because they're half expecting you to give them a half-hearted answer. And sometimes, even I do it, so I'm going to lump myself in there, sometimes we give a half-hearted answer. We downplay what it really is in our lives. We gloss over it because, I don't know why, because people, I don't know, maybe like they don't get it. And so we just let them think what they think instead of sharing our excitement and sharing our passion and realizing how powerful that can be. That's what's going to get people to join your Scentsy team. So when people ask you, how's Scentsy going for you? Or when you tell people what you're doing now, what you're doing besides, like if you have a full-time job and someone asks you, what do you do? Do you tell them about Scentsy or do you just tell them about your full-time job? And when you do tell them about Scentsy, how do you present it? And taking the time to think about that and getting together like a really quick kind of elevator speech type thing. I hate that term because I don't get it. Well, I mean, I get it, but I don't get it, and it stresses me out when people say, have your elevator speech ready. I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, a quick little spiel that you can quickly say and you repeat, and the more you say it, you don't want it to sound rote, but you want it to be genuine and exciting every single time that you share it. That's all going to help attract people to your Scentsy business. Sharing that emotion, sharing that experience, sharing something that these other people are going to want to be a part of. Okay? So that's everywhere. Parties, customers, people who you send Scentsy out to, your family and friends who ask you how Scentsy's going, your person who you meet on the chairlift that asks you what you do for a living, right? Because that's one of the first questions a lot of people ask. What do you do? What do you say? Having something ready for that. That's all going to help attract people to your Scentsy business. So that's where. Sorry, I need some chocolate or something. It's getting late in the day. I'm like, where was I? Okay. Why, what, who, where, how. So a really quick, easy thing to have put together is possibility packets. And there was a time where I was really encouraging us all to share 10 possibility packets a month. And 50 samples and 10 possibility packets. Still a great rule. Still a great thing. If you're a person who likes kind of that concrete, like, what do I need to do? Do 10 possibility packets a month and get them out there, and 50 samples a month. Okay? So, with the possibility packets, even if they aren't going directly to people who you even necessarily think would be great on your Scentsy team, like I said, we have this habit, at least I know I do, of seeing somebody who loves Scentsy and purchases a lot of Scentsy or hosts a lot of parties or does this and this and thinking this person should do Scentsy, they would get a discount, I don't understand why they're not doing it, and pursue after this person. Like, I call it barking up the wrong tree for too long. Meanwhile, this person over here who's kind of shy but is looking for a hobby is completely getting overlooked by you because you're so focused on this squirrel that's up this tree when you're barking up the wrong tree. You should be barking at all the trees. So anyway, even if it's sending it, send it to this person who you think would be great, but send it to these other people too, and you never know what's going to land. Even if you're sending them out and you're not getting new teammates right away, it's going to be good practice for you to share that opportunity. If you send out 120 possibility packets in a year, that's going to be great practice for you. Even if nobody joins your team that one year, you've still practiced at least 120 times. And so you're getting better at it, and you're going to be learning what to say and learning how to do it and learning what works and what doesn't. So do that. Okay? And so what a possibility packet is it's basically some information, and it can be any information that you want to put together. There isn't a right or a wrong possibility packet because, like I said before, you are your best recruiting tool, your story and your passion, but it's good to give people information to look over for a couple reasons that I will get into. But what I like to include is this Think About It doc, which I think is in the files page of Queen of Scent. If not, I can double check. And look, I didn't create it. I got it from another superstar director, Kelly Tenney, and edited it a little bit, changed some things to fit more of me. And, I put a quote on there from someone who was on our team. Obviously, this is one that I did for somebody else. Okay. Anyway. Interesting. I must have edited one for somebody and sent it to them and not put my own website on there. Or put it back to my website in my Google Drive. I'll have to do that. I wonder if I've been sending these out and getting this lady recruits. Just kidding. Because it isn't about the document. This isn't what's going to get people to join your team. It's you. Okay, so this is basic info. How much does a starter kit cost? What are the requirements to stay active? Is it a get rich quick scheme? How do I maintain my status? What's in it for me? Blah, 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 blah. All those nuts and bolts in one page. Okay? So I like to include that. Usually, typically what I do is fold it up. I can grab my envelope. Then I like to include a catalog, current catalog for them to see, an order form, and a product list, which I will get to in a second. This is my Scentsy Life. This is a super cute flyer that Scentsy has done up for us to use. It's got the compensation plan on it. It's got some other reasons as to why being a consultant is so awesome. It also has the hostess rewards right there. Some samples. I like to do a wax sample and a non-wax sample because we have other products. So whether it's whips or body line or whatever, something else to show them that we have more to offer, right? There's something in it for everybody. And then a business card I would do. And okay, and a business card. There's my business card. Oh. I thought I had this all together. And a note card, okay? And like I said, there's no right or wrong possibility packet. I've changed the content some. Don't necessarily think it matters. You could do a monthly flyer list, whatever. It's helpful to put these together at the very beginning of the month, at least your 10 with your nuts and bolts. And then you know you've got to get rid of all of them in the month. And if the month is winding down to a close and you still have some, you better go through your Facebook contacts, your phone contacts, your people who've ordered online from you, and pull some addresses and send some possibility packets. You never know. Again, and it's practice asking. So then this note card is really important. So what you're going to do is you're going to write to them and share why you think they would be a good Scentsy consultant, share why you want them on your team, all that good stuff. Okay, this is the personal part of it that they're going to read. Sometimes what I will do if I'm like going to a fair or a market or something like that, and I know I want to hand them out, but I'm not going to have time to write a personal note, I will write, do a couple ahead of time and just say like, you are getting this because I thought you were great and I would love to have you on my Scentsy team. I've included some more information about what it's like to be in our Scentsy group and what that can mean for you in your life. Could you imagine yourself as a Scentsy consultant? Have you ever considered it? You know, that kind of thing. Just generic. And then I'll hand it to, or, you know, stick it in the bag of somebody who buys something that's, you know, I love Scentsy. I have one in every single room. Oh, that's something else I was going to say too. When you're talking about who to ask, there are some key phrases that you can listen for. One of them is, I have Scentsy in every single room. One is, let's just do 3 for the sake of time. I have Scentsy in every single room. I don't have a Scentsy consultant anymore. And I could never do what you do. So, first one, I have Scentsy in every single room. I just love it. Oh my gosh, I go through like a 6-pack a month. I just can't, you know, this stuff is the best. And she's there selling it to her mom and, you know, all that good stuff for you, right? You're just standing there like, this is my job. Like, I'm just, go ahead, do my job for me. that's a great opportunity for you to say, wow, you love Scentsy so much. Did you know that that's the number one reason why people join Scentsy? Because they love it. Have you ever thought about joining our group and getting a little discount on your Scentsy addiction? You wouldn't have to say little, but getting a discount on your Scentsy addiction. Something like that. Casual. Okay? And see where it goes from there. She might be like, no. Still, put this in her bag when she orders, okay? She can take it home and look at it later. Hopefully you're doing a drawing or something that you could get her information so you could follow up with her. More on that in a sec. So, next phrase. I lost my Scentsy consultant. You'll hear that a lot. Like, oh, I'm so thankful I found you. My Scentsy consultant's quit and I have no idea where to get it. And then you're like, did you know that you could be your own Scentsy consultant? And then you wouldn't have to worry about finding one ever. It could just be you and you could get a discount on it. Did you know that? And then see what they say. But if they say no, then just say, obviously, well, I would love to be your consultant. I'm so glad you found me. Bloop, stick this in their bag. My third favorite one is, I love Scentsy, but I could never do what you do. I mean, I could never do this. To me, that means that they've thought about it. Like, you didn't even present that idea to them. So how did that idea get in their head? Obviously, it came from them. Obviously, even though they said that they haven't thought about it, they have. Because you didn't even say that yet. So then what I like to say is, what makes you say that? And then see what I'm just not a salesperson. I mean, no, I don't want to sell things to people. And then you can say, I'm not a salesperson either. And you know, when I started this actually 9 years ago, I'd never even been to a party. I just liked the way Scentsy smelled and I thought I'd see where I would go. And I actually have a lot of fun just letting people smell the scents and kind of helping them pick out their favorites. And I love all the warmers, and Scentsy as a company just keeps getting better and better. All that. Because, and then, bloop, flop it in their bag when they make their purchase. Because again, if they're saying they couldn't do it, they might just need a boost of confidence. They might just need you believing in them and helping them along the way. Because how many of us didn't really think we'd be good Scentsy consultants? How many of us when we joined didn't think it was going to be like the next best thing in our lives? But that's what happened along the way. And so being that person that believes in them and shows them the confidence and the belief might be exactly what they need. So listen for those three things, especially when you're at parties or events or anything like that. So, and then give them this. Okay. And you can even say, you don't have to be a sneaker and drop it in there. Sometimes I'm a sneaker, because I don't want to make it extra awkward for them. But sometimes they'll be like, well, you know what? I'm going to give you a little bit more information about it. You can just look it over whenever you have time, when you're drinking your coffee in the morning, and just so you know a little bit more about what it's like to be a Scentsy consultant. So, and then get their info so you can follow up with them. Because the fortune is in the follow-up. Just like with making sales, making recruits, you got to follow up. Okay, one thing I forgot to say. On the card, I also tell them that I am including an order form and a product list and a catalog so that they can practice what it's like to be a Scentsy consultant. So that they can take that, share it with their mom and their sister and their brother and their dad and everybody, and even see if it's something that they like to do. So that's something that's kind of fun. It will show them what it's like to be a consultant, which is fun, which is awesome when everybody goes, oh my gosh, I love that warmer, and oh my gosh, I love that smell, and oh my gosh, you've got laundry stuff too. It's fun. And it'll show them that there's customer base and that the business is growing and all that good stuff. So I include that. I invite them to begin sharing and pretending like they're a Scentsy consultant and see how it goes. And then set a time to follow up with them, because that's what's important. If you don't set a time, that's okay. Still follow up. Sometimes I'll mail this out. Sorry, my arms are really sore. I'll let the people know that it's on the way. A possibility packet with some information about being a Scentsy consultant is on its way to you. I'll touch base with you in a couple days and see if you have any questions. Then you touch base with them, and sometimes they'll say, oh, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, or I have these questions, and then you answer those questions. If you don't know the answers to those questions, don't worry. Your sponsor's there for you. I'm here for you. Ask on the group page, whatever it might be, and so take the questions. If you don't know, just simply say, I'm not really sure. Let me check with my group. We're a really supportive group of consultants, and I'll get back to you about that. So that's kind of how, and then ultimately what you do is when they say yes, when they're ready, you take them to your website. So you must have an active PWS through Scentsy to sponsor consultants. It's $10 a month. And it's also a write-off. It's free for your first 3 months, but if you're sponsoring after your first 3 months, it's going to be $10 a month. You can cancel the next month if you have a recruit this month, then you won't have one, the one after. You can just buy the website for $10, get your recruit signed up, and then the next month cancel your website if people aren't ordering online from you. It's always an option, but it is a write-off, and it's nice to have a website too. So, okay, so that's how. Then ultimately you will get them to your website, and ideally you would walk them through signing up. You would be on the phone with them or on FaceTime with them, helping them get signed up just to kind of seal the deal. It's not always possible. People's schedules don't always line up that way, and kind of in our modern digital age, that's just not how we always operate. Or you could get together with them and sign them up. That'd be great too. But if that doesn't work, that's okay. Just make sure they get to your website, get signed up, and be in communication with them about it to make sure that happens. Sometimes this also takes following up. So don't get discouraged if she said she was going to join on Friday and she still hasn't joined. It must be over. No, follow up. I think that there are ways to follow up and, not be annoying. I think that's everybody's fear, right? I didn't want to bug her. Well, nobody wants to bug anybody. But even if you just say, hey, I noticed that, I'm so excited to see your name come up on my team. I noticed it hasn't gone through yet. Is there anything I can help you with on the sign-up process? Because sometimes there's questions. Sometimes it doesn't go through. Sometimes people think it goes through, and it didn't because there was one more click that needed to be made. So just making sure that you're following up and staying in contact. That's how you get them on your team. So, okay, why do we recruit? Who? What is it? Where do we do it? How do we do it? Who? When? I think I've already kind of covered when. Just like where and who. Anywhere. Anytime. Everywhere. Every time. There's no wrong time to start recruiting. If you've been a consultant for a day, that's the day to start recruiting and building your team. If you've been a consultant for 10 years and haven't had a teammate, now's the time to start if you want to grow a team. There's no whenever. Okay. Like I said, if you don't know enough, you don't feel like you know enough because you're new, trust me, you know enough. And you know enough to say, my sponsor and my group can help us find that answer. The workstation can help us find that answer. It is the most fun doing Scentsy with your friends. I just want to, plug that again. Not only when I started did I have zero clue what I was doing. I had one of my best friends join during my first couple months, and we weren't necessarily best friends at the time. We were new friends. We hung out a lot. But we are some of the best friends now, and we grew our Scentsy business together. So, it wasn't like, I need to figure everything out before I can have you with me. It was like, let's figure this out together. And so I encourage you to do that now if you're new, now if you've been in a consultant for a year or 2 years or 3 years, whatever. Now is the time. Wait for promotions? No. There is a tendency to think, well, let's say, for example, February is often bonus starter kit month, which means in February you will get the fall-winter mini testers and full-size testers and catalogs, and spring-summer full-size testers and catalogs for 2018. So I don't want to recruit in January because February is going to be the better kit month. Everybody's just going to want to join in February anyway, so I'm not going to recruit in January. That is no, don't do that. That's not the philosophy that I live by, first of all, because I'll tell you why. When people are excited to join your team, you want them to join your team now. So if someone comes to you and is like, I want to join Scentsy, and you're like, and it's January 4th, and they're like, hey, I really want to join Scentsy. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I got this extra money for Christmas, and I just think, I want to do Scentsy this next year. And you're like, awesome. I can't wait to have you on our team. But I know that in February you're going to be able to get a bigger kit. So let's just wait till February, and then we'll get you started, and we'll get you off on the right foot. So what happens is February 1st comes around, and you're like, call her up and like, hey, it's February, bonus kit month. Let's get you signed up. Let's get you going. And she's like, oh, well, actually, I decided to buy some Lululemon with that Christmas money, and now I don't have any money, and so I'm going to have to wait till maybe when taxes come back. And then taxes come back, and you call her up, and, then it's this and this and this. Like, don't wait for the specials. A lot of times what I'll do is if, say, I have somebody who wants to join in January, and they're ready, and they want to join, sign them up, offer some sort of incentive for them to earn what they would have gotten their kit if they would have waited. Do that, sign them up when they're ready, no matter what. Even if it's, Elliot's right there! Elliot, do you have any recruiting tips?
Can I play some Call of Duty?
He wants to play Call of Duty. That's his recruiting tip.
No, it's not.
He's cute. Gotta give him that. What's that?
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
I can't believe I scared you.
You scared me. I scare easily.
You never scared me. You only scared me once.
I know. I get scared easy.
Oh.
Okay. So that's a little tip about when. With any of these tips, you guys, this is just how I do it. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's what you need to do. I think that each of us knows kind of what our basic philosophy in life is. And for me, I've learned that when someone's excited, sign them up when they're ready. Don't push it back because something always happens. And so that's why I do that. If you feel more comfortable and you say, hey, I don't like that. I don't want to run my business that way. Guess what? You get to make that choice because that's the beauty of the Scentsy business. You don't have to do it how I tell you to do it. You don't have to take these suggestions that I'm giving you tonight. You don't have to. You could listen to this whole 45-minute video and think, I don't agree with anything that she said. I hope that you don't do that because that's a big, giant waste of your time listening to me talk this whole time if you didn't get it. But maybe that's all you got from this video is I don't agree with her. I don't want to run my business this way. I'm not going to run my business like Ariel. I would still say at the end of that, at least you gain that from watching this video. At least you know that you don't want to do it like me and you can do it how you want to. You don't want to do possibility packets. You want to do just a flyer. Whatever it might be. I just want to share with you what I do, what works for me, what seems to be working for me, what I hope to keep doing, what I realize that recruiting is relationship building. So it's going to be hard to recruit if you're not out building relationships, whether it is in-person relationships, Facebook relationships, all of those relationships. You need to be growing and expanding your relationship base and deepening the relationships that you do have with people, hostesses, friends, family, all that. That might lead you to more people down the road. If you say, actually, Ariel, I went through my entire list of 100, every single person told me no, then I will say to you, and it will probably frustrate you, but I will say to you, well, great, who do those people on your list know that might be a good teammate? Because then they can start asking people who they know. And so the more you are building those relationships, getting referrals, I don't believe that there's never ending. I don't believe that you've asked that no one's going to join your team, right? Like, someone's going to join your team. People are going to join your team. It's just finding them. And sometimes it takes a little bit of digging. Sometimes it takes a lot of digging and a lot of asking and a lot of building. You will grow from it immensely, and you will gain from it. So I do know that. Do believe that, because I've experienced that. So anyway, I hope that was helpful in my kind of roundabout way of doing a recruiting video for you. But feel free to ask any questions. Comment here or just ask me. I'd be happy to go more in depth into anything or explain anything a little bit better. So anyway, I'll talk to you later.